gold, 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 gold. So now looking at gold, like I said, I always like to start from the monthly time frame. The monthly time frame, guys, is king of time frames. Okay, so looking at the monthly time frame, like I said, you want to identify two troughs. You want to identify two troughs. Okay, so coming from the monthly time frame of gold, what do we have? All right, so you always want to zoom out. Okay, this all information from where is this? From 1997 to all the way till today, 2022. You want to zoom out completely so that you can get more information. Okay, so like I said, depending on the trader you are. So for position traders, if they see something like this, okay, they want to come and identify 2 points here. 2 points first. Like I said, identify the first 2 points. Okay, this is what we have. Point 1 here and point 2 here. Okay, so all above this trend line, we are bullish on gold until price broke for this short period of time for about how many pips? For about 2,000 pips. Okay, that's a lot, guys. If you can catch 2,000 pips in this market with some very reasonable lot size, woo, boy, that's money, man. That's money. So of course we're using I think we use black for this. Yep, the monthly. Okay, so like I said, this is for illustration purpose, but this trend line is way old. Okay, so you may not be actually using this trend line for recent trades, but just like I said, it's just for illustration purpose. Now this one trend line, okay, and then we have another one here. Can you see this? Okay, so what do we have here? We have one touch here. We have one touch here. So guys, can you see that? That's one touch there, and then this is another touch here. That's the first 2 touches. Okay, so now after this, if I see these 2 touch here, all right, so I can know that, okay, I'll be bearish all the way on the monthly time frame, please. I'll be bearish all the way from here to this point here. All right, so that's like how many pips from here to here? About 6,000 pips, man. If you can grab that. So now all the way from here, we have this touch, we have this touch, and then we have a third bounce here. We have a third bounce here. So guys, after the first 2 touch, okay, after the first 2 touch, all right, you can have as many bounce on that trend line. It happens. You can have as many bounce on that trend line. Okay, so now what you want to do is, when you bring this all the way out like this, okay, so after the third touch, price came down a little bit for about how many pips? About 2,000 pips before returning. So price did this. Came, touch here, came all the way down here, and then touched this line again. Came down before we had a break, and then price came here, almost touched the trend line again, bounce here, the area, before heading upwards. Okay, so price did all this. All right, so you know that's how we made mention of inner trend line and outer trend lines. So this is what I see here again. This is what I see. I see some touches here also. So what you want to do is to extend it into the future. So price keep bouncing. Like I said, use the tip. Make sure you use the tip of the wick. Okay. So at this point, okay, price had a bounce here. Price had a bounce here. Okay. So price did all this bounce here, okay, until we had a break at this point here. So you can see price, we had a break at this point here before it came and bounced on this outer trend line and then came down, danced a little bit here and then shot up. Okay, so now the thing is this: there are other things that you have to put together to get a clearer direction in this market. Like, you know, since I've spoken about what do you call it, about support and resistance in the past, in our past video, we can also do this. Look at this. Can you see that? Okay, so now putting all this together, I have a trend line break here, and then I have a support area here, bounce. So putting all this together, it gives you, you know, a better perspective of what you should be looking for. But as we progress in our chains, okay, I'll show you how to combine trend lines and support and resistance, combine other things, okay, to give you a better picture of where price is going to. Okay, so now let me remove this because we are not talking about support and resistance today. Neither are we talking about combining elements. Okay, so as for today, I'm dealing with trend lines. Okay, then I have another trend line here. Okay, it is my intention to bring out as much example as possible so that you can have a better understanding of these things. All right, so we have a bounce here, we have one bounce here, we have a bounce here on this trend line, and that bounce on this trend line. Okay, so now let's look at something more recent. At least this is for like the past 2 years. Let's look at something more recent. Okay, so now we have this also. Can you see this touch here? These two troughs is here. Okay, so price did this. All right, let's not forget that when we zoomed out, okay, so we have this also. Hey guys, can you see that? So we extend it into the future. Let me remove this one so that I don't get confused. No, which one? Okay, let me remove this. All right, because I want to make an illustration on this trend line I just drew. Okay, so what do we have here? On the monthly time frame, of course. From here we have a bounce here, we have a touch here, we have a touch here, and then we have a third touch here, the third bounce. Can you see that? So in reference to this trend line, price is still bullish as of today. That's the information we should get, that price is still bullish, especially for position traders. Price is bullish in this market right now. Okay, so now this is what I'll be expecting. I can see that price already changing direction. So until price comes down and break this trend line, okay, does something like this, because price, see this from here to here. So what I drew here, from here to here, price hardly does this. Okay, price moving waves, it's moving waves. So this is what it will do, coming down. All right, but the general idea is that it is coming down. All right, so now we have a break of this trend line. So until this trend line breaks on the monthly time frame, guys, we are still bullish. Okay, expect anything. Okay, so now I'm going to remove this. So now let's scale down to the weekly time frame. Okay, the weekly time frame. So look, I'm doing all this. I could as well just focus on one time frame, like the daily time frame, and be making my annotations. Okay, but the thing is this, like I said, we have different personalities in this market. Okay, for those who want to scalp, for those who want to day trade, for those who want to swing, and for those who want to be position trading. Alright, so this video cuts across for everybody, depending on where you want to find yourself. Alright, so now what do we have here on the weekly time frame? Going back, alright, going back. So you can see that this trend line I drew, it appeared very clear on the weekly time frame. Okay. So on the weekly time frame, what do we have? So let me remove all this. Let me declutter my charts. Like I said, I like to keep a clean charts. I don't like indicators. You guys, indicators work. Oh, it works. Indicator works depending on who you are in this market. Like I said, on the style you decide to use. So what do we have here on the weekly? I can see a trend line here on the weekly time frame. I can see a trend line here. Okay, I can see another trend line here. So guys, seriously, sometimes you just have to be patient. When you get videos like this, you have to watch them over and over. That's how you squeeze the juice out of this kind of orange. Okay, so this is another a touch here, a touch here. We have a touch here, a touch here, a touch here, a touch here. It broke out a little bit. Like I said, I'll be talking about price manipulation going forward and fake outs. Okay, did a little bit of fake outs here, came down until we have a break, and then came down here, almost a bounce, and then so over time you learn how to put all these things together. Okay. Alright, so let's look for another trend line to draw. Alright, we have another one here. We have another trend line here. Okay, so we have one touch here, one touch here, and another touch here. Okay, so we keep going, we keep going, we keep going. Okay, so now we have this. This is for a more recent chart. So we have this. Guys, look at this. This is sweet. All right. Still on the weekly. So sorry, I'll have color. Let me color code this. I think we used what, pink? Yeah, we used pink for the weekly. So all these ones I drew on the weekly ought to have been pink. Sorry about that. Okay. Now, how do you go about that? So we have a touch here. This is the first touch, and then we have a second touch. Guys, like I said, man, like I said, you really have to find two touches, two troughs first, minimum of two troughs. Once you've gotten this, you can always extend this into the future and see how price plays around this line. Okay, so now we have this on the weekly. So now this informs me that okay, for the interim, okay, don't forget that this is the monthly time frame trend line. Okay, let's not forget that. Then now, so now if I'm trading this, if I'm going to trade this, okay, this is my expectation that price come all the way to this here, to this outer trend line. We may have a bounce. Okay, depending on how far price wants to go, have a bounce, you can still come back, break the trend line. So like I said, this market have a mind of its own. Alright, but you just have to follow her working steps. Okay, alright, like I said, we remain reactive in this market, not predictive. We can only have, you know, an idea that okay, this is what's gonna happen, but like I said, the market have a mind of its own. You just have to follow her, you know, step by step. Alright, so now the next place we have a trend line is here. We could have this is a trend line here in the weekly. This is another trend line. Yep. So we have this also. All right, so we have one touch here, another touch here, and another touch here. Okay, so price did this until they had a break, going forward. All right, so this is what we have. Okay, so now here, what do I have? I have price breaking this line. So for now, we are bearish up to this point. But from the monthly time frame, guys, this is the outermost. This guy here, this trend line here is the outermost trend line. Okay, this trend line is the outermost trend line. It is the most significant of all of them for me. Okay, how I see the market. So for now, on this time frame, on this in this asset gold, all right, we are having, this is a bullish market. So until this trend line is broken, like I illustrated earlier, we're in a bullish market. But I will not wait for price to come all the way here, guys. I will not wait for price to come all the way here to trade. No, I will not wait that long. Okay, I'm a patient trader, but I'm not that patient. All right, I want to make money. So this is how many pips from here, all the way from here to here. About 4,000 pips. Okay, but I'm not going to wait for price to come all the way here. It may take the next 5 months for price to come here. You don't want to wait that long, guys. So you have to be looking for short other positions. Okay, you come down to the weekly. All right. Okay, for now, I can be bearish. I can be selling until I get to this point here. You get the jet, guys. So now, from here, let's go down to the daily time frame. Okay, let me see. Okay, there's another point jumping at me here. Another trend line. You can see this. Okay, I already drew this. Okay, so now let's go down to the daily. Okay. Now let's go down to the daily time frame. Daily time frame. So this is what I see now in the daily time frame. All right. Let me change the code for this. I think we used what color? Green. The color green. Okay, let's just pick a color. Let's pick any color. Alright, I think it's blue. Yeah, we use blue for the daily. So now this is what we have. Okay, you can see price coming to play around here. Alright, so I'm using the most recent charts, guys. I'm using the most recent charts here. Okay, so we identified this on the daily. Sorry, that's to touch the tip. So you adjust distance. So for now, we're in a bearish market. We keep selling until probably we have, if price comes all the way up here to break this, then we are good. You can have this bounce, or it could do this from here. We break it and then we come out here and we go. Alright, we do this. Okay, so we have the daily, we have a trend line here. The first two troughs, guys, follow the first two troughs. Alright, always follow the first two troughs. Okay, so that's here and here. Alright, so price came back here. We had a bounce, came up until it later came down and broke this place here and kept going down. So I think I've made my point on these charts. Okay, so we could go down to the 4 hour, 1 hour. So we keep finding trend lines, but it's the same concept all through. Like I said, depending on your personality in this market, the kind of trader you are, where you want to stay fixated. Alright, so Once you are done with this, then you know the direction of the market. All right, so let's just pick another chart. Let me see. Let's take a random chart. Let me see. Odd chef. I may not be staying too long for odd chef here.